Welcome again. Today we will be doing the question number 28 of the exercise that we were doing yesterday. The first question here is find the least value of the following. We have to find the least value of this one. So we can do one thing. Here we can write this as this we can do. This here can be written as this one. This is the reciprocal of sin x. It is just like x plus 1 upon x minus 2. So this can be written as sin x minus cos x whole square plus 2. Now we are knowing this is square. So this will always be positive. So minimum value of this can be 0 or greater than 0. That means now you add 2 to this on both sides. When we have added 2 to this on both sides, this implies that this is greater than 2. So the least value, if I see the least value is 2 and rest the values are more than 2. So here we write implies the least value is 2. This is the least value. Now in the second case it is tan square x plus cot square x. In the same manner we have to do, only difference here we have to put tan square and here we have to put cot square, and rest all the things will be same and you can get the answer, and there also the answer will be 2. Now the question number 29. We have to find the domain and range of the function 29 first part, and the question is 5 minus 4 sin 3x. Here for all the values of x, correct, for all the values of x, any value you can give, the value of sin x, sin 3x will be lying in between minus 1 to 1. So here we write domain of the function belongs to R. Here we write domain of the function belongs to R, or we can write for domain df, fx must be real. Means the value of this one should be real. Implies 5 minus 4 sin 3x must be a real number. We know that sin x is real for all values of x belonging to R. This is a symbol for all. Implies domain of the function belongs to R. Domain is R. So for range, what we have to do? So we are knowing that as sine 3x, this is the range for all the angles. The range of sine axis or sine 3x is minus 1 to 1. Now what it is? Minus 4, you multiply all by minus 4. So this will be getting changed. This is there. Now it is 5, so write here 5. So it will become okay, you can write 5 plus 4 . This there. So what is the range? Range is from 1 to 9. So domain we have got, and here only I can write range just now. So range equal to, both numbers are inclusive, 1 to 9. This is the range of the trigonometric function that is given to you. The next part of this question is, the next part is 1 upon, this is not the question, 1 upon 4 cos 3x, 1 upon 4 minus cos 3x. Same way we will be doing. Here domain of the function will be what? Domain of the function, here this will not be 0. For domain of the function at df, fx must be real, implies 4 minus cos 3x should belongs to or should not be equal to 0, means cos 3x should not be equal to 4, and we are not having the value of cos 3x, never we are having the value as 4. So therefore we say x belongs to R, means domain of the function belongs to R, means we can assign any value to cos 3x, so that the value will be always less than 1. So there is no point that we will be getting the value 4. So we can have the domain of the function to be real number. Now we comes to this, for range, for fx to be real or this we can just again leave it. We are knowing that cos 3x is less than equal to minus 1, and this minus 1 is less than equal to cos 3x is less than equal to 1. So minus is there. This we have got. This one we have got, means the maximum value of this is 5 and this is 3, but this is in the reciprocal form. So therefore range equal to 1 by 3 to 1 upon 5. Why? This is in the reciprocal form. So this will become 1 by 3 and this will become 1 upon 5. Or you can write in the reverse order, in the increasing order, like this, 1 by 3 to 1 by 5 to 1 by 3. Now we are having this one as cos 2x. Here the meaning of this bracket is that this is called greatest integer function. It is not a simple bracket, this is greatest integer function. So here domain of the function here, x can be anything, so domain belongs to R. We can assign any value to x. Now one thing is there, whenever we talk about greatest integer function, we are having the values -1, 0 and here 1. Whatever value will be coming in between 0 and 1, here the greatest integer will be -1, and whatever will be the value of between 0 and 1, the greatest integer will be 0. Like if I am having here -0.56, so the greatest integer before this decimal is not there in the integers, so the greatest integer before this will be -1, and we have to just take the integer towards the left hand side. If it is not equal, if it is exactly equal, so no problem, but if it is in between the two numbers, we have to look for the lower number or the left hand side number, and that will be the value. Like here it is like 0.75, so greatest integer will be 0. If it is 0.99, so then also the greatest integer will be 0. So here we will be having so range of the function will be, if it is -1, it will remain -1. If it is in between this all numbers for all the real values, the value will be -1. If it is exactly 0, it will be 0, and if it is in between these two, again it will be 0, and if it is 1, then again it is 1. So three values will be getting for this. This is -1, 0 and 1. This is, you have to understand it, this is very important for you. In the further chapter we will be doing this. So the greatest integer is always the value that you are seeing -1, 0 and 1, because they are integers. No decimal value we are having. Whenever you are finding the number in between the two numbers with the decimal form, we have to see the number towards the left, the nearest number towards the left. Here if the number comes in between these two, we have to take this. If number comes in between these two, we have to take this. If the number is exactly equal to -1, the value will be -1 because it is integer. If it is exactly 0, we will be taking 0, and here if it is exactly 1, we will be taking 1. So the range of the function will be -1, 0 and 1. So last one you will be doing, I won't be doing. This is the third part. Fourth part you will try, and if you will not get, then you ask. It is, that is also like this only, correct? Now comes the next part of this exercise. Graphs are not there in your course. Now comes the trigonometric functions of sum and difference, that we will be doing. Now what is there in trigonometric functions of sum and difference? This is it. What is the meaning of sign and difference? Firstly, we have to just see the results that we are knowing something, that sine minus x is equal to minus sine x, cos minus x is equal to how much? Cos x. Here sine minus sine will not be considered. Then tan minus x is equal to minus tan x. This we are knowing. Now comes the formula for sum and difference. We will start with sine. So first formula we will be writing for sine. Sine x plus y. So what you have to do? Firstly it will be sine x, then cos y plus sine y cos x. We have written sin x cos y. Here the angles will be getting changed. So here it is sin y cos x and sin x minus y. Here the same thing will be there, only difference will be of sign in between. This is there. Now cos x plus y. Here this is a little different formula because that we are having here cos x plus y. Here it is cos x cos y minus, for plus here we are using minus, and cos x minus y. See the difference here is, it is sin cos, and here it is cos cos and sin. Same formula is there, but here we will be using plus. Now we will be using the formula for tan x plus y. This is the formula for tan x plus y, tan x plus tan y upon minus. If it is plus here, on the upper side we put plus and the downside we put minus. If it is minus here, on the upper side we put minus and downside we put plus. These all formulas you have to learn. One more formula we are having for tan. This is for 10x plus y plus z. Now, if we are having, this is also very important formula. So, sin x plus y into sin x minus y, this is equal to sin square x minus sin square y, and cos x plus y into cos x minus y equal to cos square x minus now this we are knowing. If we see the quadrants we are knowing, this is first quadrant from 0 to pi by 2. This is second quadrant from pi by 2 to pi. This is the third quadrant from pi to 3 pi by 2. And the fourth quadrant is 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. When we move from 0 to pi by 2, all the trigonometric functions are positive. Or we say this quadrant means less than pi by 2. Less than pi by 2 I can write as pi by 2 minus x. Something less than 90 degree is in the first quadrant, and more than 90 degree, 90 pi by 2 plus x will take you in second quadrant, more than 90. Likewise, less than pi, less than 180 is pi minus something you subtract from 180, it will be in the second quadrant. And this pi plus x, when you add something to 180, it weighs more than 180, so it comes in third quadrant. Likewise, less than 270 degree in third quadrant, more than 270 degree is in fourth quadrant, and less than 360 degree is in fourth quadrant, and more than 360 again, because we have completed one full round, it will be in first quadrant. Now here I used to have sine. So first thing is sine minus x is minus sine x. Now sine pi by 2 minus x, pi by 2 minus x is first quadrant. One thing you understand, that whenever we are moving over this pi by 2 function here, the function gets changed, whether we are moving here or here. In the two places the function will be changing to, sine will change to cos, cos will change to sine, tan will change to cot, and cot will change to tan. Likewise, sec will change to cosec and cosec will change to sec. So here, because it is pi by 2 minus x, function will be getting changed. This is first quadrant, this is first quadrant. So here it will be positive and it will be cos x. Sin pi by 2 minus x is cos x. Sin pi by 2 plus x, again function will change, but this is the house of which one? This is the house of sine. So here we will not put minus sign, although it is coming cos x, but this is a house of sine, so sine will remain positive in the first quadrant, and in the second quadrant sine will remain positive. Now comes pi minus x. In whenever we are moving here, there is no change in the function, change happens only in these two. Here pi minus x, pi plus x, 2 pi minus x, 2 pi minus plus x. In these two one, there is no change at these two. When it is crossing over from here to here or it is going from here to here, there is no change in the trigonometric function. Sine will remain sine, but this is second quadrant, so here we will write sine x. Sine pi minus x is sine x. Sine pi plus x, it will be in third quadrant, so it will be minus sine x. So one thing you understand, only we have to change the function when we are having 90 plus theta, 90 minus theta, 3 pi by 2 minus plus theta or 3 pi by 2 minus theta. Otherwise at these two positions no change. So here it will be changed because it is 3 pi by 2 minus x. Which quadrant? Third quadrant. Sine will become cos. This one, this is plus, and this is fourth quadrant, so again it will be minus cos x, correct. Here minus sin x and here sin x. At 2 pi minus x no change, at 2 pi plus x no change in trigonometric function, only the sign is changed. So you can see there, so it is given what? It is given in your book, see there, page number 160. So it is minus sin x, cos x, cos x, sin x, minus sin x, minus cos x, minus cos x, minus sin x and sin x. Now we come for cos. So we cannot put just now x, angles are there. So cos minus x is cos x. Cos pi by 2 minus x, first quadrant it will become sin x. Second quadrant it will become minus sin x. Why? Because this is cos and this is the house of sine only. So when the cos will go in this one, so it will become minus. Pi minus x, again this is the house of sine, second quadrant. So it is minus cos x. Again third quadrant, this is minus cos x. This will be getting change, sin x. Third quadrant, cos is negative, we will put negative. This is fourth quadrant, this is fourth quadrant, correct. So you can write it here, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is first quadrant, this is second, this is second, this is third, this is third, this is fourth, and this is also fourth, and this is first quadrant. You can write it the quadrants, then you will be understanding better. Now here it will be minus sin x. This is fourth quadrant, so here it will be plus sin x. This is fourth quadrant, so here it is cos x and here it is cos x. Because in the fourth quadrant cos will remain cos because this is no change, and in its own house it will be positive. This is fourth quadrant, because this is 3 pi by 2, the function will be getting changed and it will be sin x. Now comes 10. 10 minus x is minus 10x. 10 pi by 2 minus x, first quadrant, 10 will be changing to cot. Here it will be minus cot. This is minus 10. Here this is third quadrant, so no change in sign, it will be positive. Here third quadrant, 3 pi by 2, so it is cot x. Here fourth quadrant minus cot x, here 2 pi minus x minus tan x, and here tan x. In the first quadrant all will be positive. So this is how we just take the sign of the trigonometric function according to the quadrants and the angles. Today we will be doing till here. In the next session we will be doing the questions based on this. So till then, bye bye.